Hello everybody, we're back. We're still working in here on this, but hopefully, last episode we made a lot of major progress here, and this episode I'm really counting on doing the same. So let's get to getting this together or apart. We'll see where the day takes us. So I was looking at this, and I thought I had basically everything that bolted onto this cab off. But I'm looking at this piece here, and the seam was kind of weird. Really kind of weird all through here. It's just kind of like plumbers putting together. And then I noticed some bolts up inside the dash and everything, and I was like, man, I really feel like this might come off. And a guy on one of the Facebook groups for these LCFs had a picture of his fresh in paint, and I realized these weren't on there, and I was like, oh, they do come off. So we're gonna get this guy off of here before we get ready for the main event here to start patching. So for your reference, and I mean probably more mine than yours, but to get this off, there's these Phillips. There's one here, and then we got some 1/2 inchers, one here, and then two way up in there. So that's from the inside, and on the outside, we gotta take off the bracket for locking the hood shut, and then it just kind of slides off. So that's what we're gonna do. Well, it's off. We had one Phillips put up a good fight. It is a little bit eroded, so we had to drill, which I guess isn't the end of the world, other than the fact that we had to drill. But I guess things could be worse. So now we got full access here. We got our air conditioning, our secondary air conditioning vents open here, and everything. Now she's just about stripped. But you want to see something incredibly frustrating? So when they painted this thing from green to red, these are either chrome or stainless. These little inserts here, and they just painted right over them. So that is disappointing, but we will we're gonna fix that. Not a problem. Minor details. So yeah, now we should probably pull glass out before we get too crazy with welding and grinding and stuff. All right, so well, we broke out the handy dandy Hobart here. Where is it? There it is. Look at that. We strung in our 024 wire. Still gotta get the right size tips. I only got a 030 tip, but we got the right size wire in, so I figured why not give her a shot here and see what we can do. So do a little trial to test it out and see what our abilities are or aren't. And I mean, I gotta say, I'm not too sad about it. So there was 4 holes. Excuse the runs in the primer here. It was not what I was expecting for sure. So we used our handy dandy surface conditioning tool here, and we stripped the paint off. There was 4 holes from something probably when this thing was a fire truck. So there was one here, one here, and one there, and they were just little baby holes. So we stripped it inside and out. Give it a couple zaps with the old welding machine. Then we ground them down, and then just for grins to see how we did, we shot it with a little primer. So I think part of the wave you're seeing right there is from the layers of paint that are on this, because there's primer, there's at least 1 layer of green paint, if not maybe 2, and then there's a layer of red. So you can see down here, you know, I gotta get a little bit of grinding disc there. We had a horrible run, but I mean, I'm just keeping it from getting any crustier than it is while it's waiting for sandblast. But so I touched up the holes on the inside because they weren't quite as good as I was hoping, but we just shot a little primer on it. But I mean, overall, that thing worked very well. I can't say I'm mad about this thing. Like I said, the only big thing is my grinding. I know a lot of people use an air wheel, so I might make a move and get one of those. So then next in here, we're gonna try our hand at we'll get a couple screw holes to patch, and then I got the Eastwood sheet metal kit for plugging. So we'll see if we can plug that bigger one there with one of them. But there was 2 fuel tanks on this thing, and that was where the divert valve was. So we'll give her a try at that one, and we'll see what we can do there. But I mean, overall, I can't say that I'm too terribly upset about it. As you can see from the previous time lapse, we got the windshield out, we got the back window out, the doors are off. Those were more of a chore than I was anticipating. We had to take one hinge off. The other hinge is actually welded to this piece of sheet metal here, which I don't know if that's factory or I'm guessing it's probably factory. But and then we got the little guy here for keeping the door from opening too far. Had to drill that out because it's pinned in. But the doors are off. It'll be a project for a different day. I got the right size tips and everything, so I gave her testing some holes over here. Don't mind the big run over there. The primer can is pretty wicked. But overall, we're not in too bad a shape. I was a little nervous on what I was going to find under the windshield, but really, I don't see anything that I would consider detrimental. The focus is here. I'll wire wheel it off, take a look, but I think we'll be all right. Same with the back window, nothing crazy. So it came out one piece. I'll build a crate for that and put it away here. My helper is helping repeating my floor. So things are rolling on. Say I stripped more than I should have. I just had to do around the holes. Well, that's true, but you can see here some of the paint is flaked off and rusting. So I was like, well, might as well just clean that up a little bit and get it so I can put some primer on after I weld up the holes. But so these are from all the original cab lights, and then I don't know what all the other holes are for, because the cab lights that were on were definitely not torpedoes like what the holes indicate. So they were not near that big. But anywho, and then I got to get around the back and I'll strip that and fill in those holes as well, and we'll be getting somewhere. Got that little guy plugged up. We got our little build sticker. We got those two plugged up. We gotta do the big one yet. And then we've been working on the roof. And that's been quite a challenge, but they're pretty decent. You know, there's a few little divots in them and whatnot, but overall they're not terrible. I can't say I'm that upset for a first go around on a surface that moves in every direction possible. Besides the fact that once this is sandblasted and whatnot, get some high build primer on there, I think we'll be fine. Now we got more that we gotta get from the backside, but that's about all I can do for Sunday night therapy tonight. So I got some little wheels for the die grinder coming. They'll be here tomorrow, so maybe we'll get back after and try to touch these up a little more and whatnot. There's a little more touching up we can do there, that I'm sure of. But you know, overall, I can't say I'm too terribly upset. So not bad for a first timer. Well, we're back at it again. We try to patch the hole for the valve to switch between tanks. I know my patch is a touch small, but rather than burn up one of my big ones, I'm gonna try this with the short one here. So I should be able to fill that in, hopefully. If not, well, we'll start over. You know, this is a learning experience. But then we got Gone in 60 Seconds on the TV, the original, the good one. So, see what we can do this morning. more back tank, no more side tank, no more front tank. Just a solid floor. And a poor Challenger that's about to get crushed. Oh, wow. Jeez, come on. Well, we kept picking at her this morning and a lot less holes in our dash here. So we're working on that. We managed to patch a couple more holes in the ceiling here, touch up a few of the others, started on a few in the firewall and whatnot. We got a bit of a dent in the ceiling here that was there from whatever light deal was originally up there. It must have been pretty heavy, or we got hit or something, because there was a nice little dent there. So I guess we'll have to work on getting that out and shrinking that up one of these days here. That'll be fun. But all we got left then is a bunch of the holes in the firewall. So, and our floor pans. Oh, the floor pans, yikes. But, yep, we're moving right along. Seat brackets, old seat brackets, bed sheet brackets, gone. Got a little bit of touch up to do with the welder because I'm kind of a butcher, but does it really matter? Probably not. But are we gonna touch it up? Well, we got time. It'll make me feel better. So those are gone. No more kneeling on them. As you can see, compared to how the first one came out to how the second one came out, we got a little better. So I'll try to use some of that metal to patch a couple of my holes here in the firewall, but no more kneeling on those, so that'll be very nice. Patch up the firewall here. We got all the holes that were up here taken care of. We started around where the brake and the clutch used to be. We got a little more touch up to do here, but we're making progress this morning. More stuff in primer. Touched up where the butcher Took some seat brackets out on both sides. Got that done. So now we got some material. We're gonna have to start making floor pans and patching a couple of our holes here on this side. And we'll get this welded up and it'll be looking much better. Well, we had to take a break from working on the cab to get some tools to work on the cab. The old marketplace came through. We got ourselves a handy dandy little bead roller back there. It's a 2.5 hour drive each way. But for 150 bucks with a bucket of dies, I don't think I could go wrong. So now I just got to get my floor pans designed and cut, and we'll try our hand at bead roll and see what we can do. So pretty exciting stuff. A lot of running for a school night, that's for sure. But you know, thankfully it fit in the back of the old Chrysler here, and we made our journey. I got there to pick this up from this guy, and he had a quad headlight tin grill sitting up hanging above his garage door. And then he started asking me about the Fury and my profile picture for my wedding. And then he had to tell me that he had a 67 Fury up on his rack, so he showed me that. And then he had a 76 D100 regular cab short bed that he's dropping 400 in, that he's in the middle of restoring. So you know, you never know what you're gonna find on the old marketplace. So pretty neat stuff for sure. But yeah, it was a good find. We got ourselves a bead roller. Now we just need some metal to bead and roll. We'll see how we can do with that. So now we'll get back to welding. All right, folks, I think we're gonna wrap this one up. We got a lot of the holes patched here. Got to do these couple big guys yet, and the ones where the wire harness was. A couple more up top there, but we're picking away at it. A couple under there we did. So things are starting to smooth out here. So we'll keep trudging along. We got our new hammer and dolly kit here, so it's just putzing, trying to take out a couple of the dingers along the back of the cab here from when they put on or pulled off the water tank that was on this thing originally. And yeah, we're gonna just keep rolling on her. I know this was a very slow video, but you know, this is the most forward progress that we've made in a long time on any project. So slow but sure, we'll keep picking away. Next time we'll use our new handy dandy bead roller here and see about making us some new floor pans. And we'll see what else we can make happen. So I guess until next time, if you can't afford to buy your dreams, start building them.